Are you ready?
Yeah!
I know you at home are ready. And isn't it wonderful, boys and girls, how here in America we are free to love Jesus and to tell others about him? But it hasn't always been like that. In fact, when the good news about Jesus first started to spread, there was a lot of opposition.
What a bummer!
You can imagine what it would be like to have bad people trying to hurt you because you were a Christian, or even kill you. That's what happened to the Apostle Paul after he gave his heart to Jesus. His old buddies got really mad at him. They decided to gang up on him and try to stop him from telling others about Jesus. But do you think it worked?
No way!
No, it didn't. But boy, they sure tried to stop him.
To think he used to be one of us.
Let's keep to the matter at hand. Where is Paul now?
Galatia.
They say he even preaches to the Gentiles, and many believe his word.
Let him have the Gentiles. But he teaches that they are also a chosen people.
Blasphemy. This is what I say. Paul is a threat to our nation. The Christians are growing far too fast. If we are to survive, we must put an end to Paul.
Uh-oh! Look out, Paul!
They chased after Paul from city to the next, stoning him, beating him, and making fun of him. But Paul didn't care. He just kept telling people the good news about Jesus.
Way to go, Paul!
But finally, Paul's enemies cornered him and had him arrested and brought to trial. They thought that maybe they could get him to court to sentence him to death.
Paul must be put to death.
What has he done that is worthy of death?
The same things for which you crucified Jesus. Blasphemy against our law and treason against yours.
I have done none of these things. The truth is that I preach Jesus risen from the dead. This alone angers them to violence.
You blaspheme! He brought a Gentile into the temple! Away with him, liar!
Quiet. Quiet! This has nothing to do with Roman law. This is a Jewish matter. I'm sending you back to Jerusalem.
Then I appeal unto Rome. If I were guilty, I would gladly die, but I am not guilty. As a citizen of Rome, I demand to be heard by Caesar.
Go for it, Paul!
Now Festus was really confused about all of this. He didn't understand Paul's faith in Jesus at all. And so when his friend King Agrippa arrived for a visit, he asked him to listen to Paul and to help him decide what to do.
I'm at my wit's end, Agrippa. I can't make heads or tails of this religious nonsense. How can I send Paul to Caesar when I don't understand the charge? I know you're not a practicing Jew, but you listen to him. Tell me what you think.
It should be amusing, if nothing else.
Check it out, dude!
So once again, Paul came before the court for a hearing. Only this time it was the King Agrippa who wanted to hear about Jesus.
You tell him, Paul!
They tell me you teach a strange and dangerous doctrine.
I preach the words of Jesus.
Surely there must be an easier road. Why do you do it?
Hear me, King Agrippa, I beseech you, and know the things I say are true. I was once known as Saul among the Jews. I spent my life in pursuit of those who believed in Jesus. I thrust them into prison and stood idly by while they were put to death. But as I traveled to Damascus one day to carry out my persecutions, a light from the heavens, brighter than the sun, descended upon me and my companions. As we fell to earth, I heard a voice say, "Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me?" It was Jesus, the risen Lord, O King. And from that moment I was made blind. And he commanded me to travel on to Damascus. And there, as I lay in the shadow of death, I saw a holy man in a vision who later came to me and blessed me, saying, "Brother Saul, receive thy sight." And he commanded me to rise and preach. And from that day to this, O King, I have been obedient to that holy vision. My doctrine is not dangerous. My doctrine is not strange. For all that I have said, Moses and the prophets have said before me, that Christ should suffer, die, and rise from the dead.
Rise from the dead? What did I tell you? You're mad, Paul. The man is mad.
You have nearly persuaded me to become a Christian. This man has done nothing wrong.
Very well. You wish to be tried in Rome? Unto Rome you shall go.
So what happened then?
Paul sailed by ship to Rome, where he was kept under guard until he could go on trial before the emperor.
Jesus was with him.
Once in Rome, Paul was imprisoned, set free, and then put into prison again. But he never stopped sharing God's love with those around him. While there in prison, God used him to write some of the books of the Bible. Here are some of the words he wrote. "Be kind to one another, tender-hearted and forgiving one another, just as God in Christ has forgiven you. And this also, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." Paul's faith in God was so strong right to the end when he was finally sentenced to death by the Emperor Nero. Paul wrote this, "I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. Now there is a crown of righteousness awaiting me, and not only me, but awaiting all of those who have loved Jesus."
Right on! You tell him, Paul!
Paul is with Jesus now. Someday we'll see him in heaven, and let's all try hard to be like him and to keep on trusting Jesus and sharing Jesus with others no matter what happens. Right, boys and girls?
Right!